Welcome back to another flipped math video. This time we're going to be focusing on order of operations. So make sure you get your title down into your notebook and we can begin. First step, order of operations has specific order to the process that we are to go through whenever we're completing order of operations. The first one right away is braces, and this is what braces looks like. It looks like lips, so you can remember that based on the fact that braces go on teeth and inside the mouth, so lips and braces. Brackets look like staples, so always remember that. Parentheses you're used to. It's in books on occasion, and you've been seeing it throughout your time in school, so you're used to the parentheses. So make sure you've got those down because those are in the order that they are to be completed as we go through the order of operations. Then we have exponents. Now, exponents you should be pretty aware of by now, but an exponent is that little number that goes on the top of our whole number. So 2 would be the exponent here. It would be 10 squared or 10 to the second power. Another way is if it's on any other whole number like 3 to the 5th power. Okay, that's also an exponent. The 5 is the exponent there, and that tells us how many times to multiply our base number here. So our 3 would be, we'd have 5 3s being multiplied. Not 3 plus 3, but it would be 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, 5 times, all right? Remember those exponents. And then we have multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Now, if you notice, I put equal opposites for multiplication and division and equal opposites for addition and subtraction. And that's because of the fact that multiplication and division, neither one is more important than the other. So it's whoever comes first, and addition and subtraction is the same way. So these are all of the order of operations, and it's remembered by B.B. PEMDAS. And you're going to be utilizing that throughout our practice as we go through the slides. The next one, this is the order in which they are to be completed. So make sure you get this down because the importance level here is to make sure you get the correct answer at the end. If you do it out of order, you're not going to get the same answer. So the first one always have to follow is braces always comes first if they exist. Brackets always come second if they exist. Okay? Parentheses will always come third. And then exponents. Multiplication and division are 5th because they are equal to each other, and addition and subtraction are 6th. They are equal to each other. Now, this is the order if all of them exist. Obviously, you're going to go through and see which ones are in existence, and whichever ones are not, you're going to start crossing out as you go down when you write B.B. PEMDAS. Now, this mnemonic will help you remember B.B. PEMDAS. It's birthday boy, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So if you remember birthday boy, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, you'll remember B.B. PEMDAS, as you can see. Now, when we go to solve it, this is the process that we have to do it. I expect you to follow the breakfast, lunch, and dinner process, which means that the way we eat our food each day in steps of breakfast, lunch, dinner, you should be completing your order of operations like that, in steps, one step at a time. Just like the B.B. PEMDAS I just said, that would be one step at a time. Braces, brackets, parentheses, exponents, multiplication or division, whichever one's first, addition, subtraction, whichever one's first. So let's see this example. Copy this down. Make sure you're following along with the notes as it says notes. Okay? So for the first one, I see it's 4 to the second power plus 5 times 6. So I look up at the top and I say, well, are there any braces? No, no braces. Are there any brackets? No, no brackets. Are there any parentheses? No, no parentheses. Are there any exponents? Yes. I found a number with an exponent, so I need to do that first. So I solve that part of the problem first, and so I'm going to do that. 4 squared is the same thing as saying 4 times 4. 2 4s being multiplied, and that's 16. And then I rewrite my whole problem, making sure I include all of the numbers that are involved in the problem, not getting rid of anything. So now I've got my exponents solved, and I rewrote the whole problem, and now I can see what I need to do next. Out of multiplication and division, I have multiplication to do. So I'm going to go and do multiplication now. 5 times 6 is 30. So I'm rewriting my numbers in the exact order. So 16 is still in existence here. Plus is still here. I'm just solving for 5 times 6. And so therefore, I get my answer of 30. And so here I now have 16 plus 30. And all I have left is addition. So I just do the addition and I get an answer of 46. And that's how you do your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's the same process in which you go step by step. I looked first for each part of the BB PEMDAS. Whichever was there, I did first. Now let's look at another. Here we have a much bigger problem. All right, much more difficult, so make sure you follow along as we solve. I want you to write down the equation, write down everything above it, exactly how I have it mapped out for you. And now we're going to solve it together. And as I go through, you go through as well. You could even try to solve it ahead of time and see what you do before I do it. You could do it that way, or you can follow along with me. So first, I look up at BB PEMDAS, and I say, well, do I have any braces? Nope, don't see any braces. Do I have any brackets? No, I don't have any brackets. Do I have any parentheses? Yes, I do. I do have parentheses. So, obviously right here, parentheses, parentheses. So that means I have to look inside my parentheses first. That's the first thing I have to do. Then I look for exponents now inside the parentheses. Do I have any? No, I do not. Do I have any multiplication division inside the parentheses? Yes, I do. I have multiplication and division. Now remember, multiplication and division are equal opposites. They're friends. So it doesn't matter which one comes first. You have to do whichever one comes first. Sounds a little awkward. But the first one that comes is division. So therefore I'm going to do division first before I do my multiplication. So I'm going to do 28 divided by 2, and that's actually 14. Now I'm going to rewrite my whole problem with that answer, and the parentheses got to stay until I solve everything in it. So 10 squared plus my parentheses, and the answer to 28 divided by 2 is going to be 14. And then I rewrite minus 3 times 3. And parentheses, because I'm not done solving everything in the parentheses. That's why I have to keep the parentheses there. So now I look inside and I say, well, I still have multiplication to do. So I'm done with my division. Now I need to do my multiplication. So I do the 3 times 3, and I rewrite my whole problem again. So that way I keep track of everything I've solved and haven't solved. 14 minus, and the answer to 3 times 3 is 9. So 14 minus 9, and parentheses. Now I have to finish off my parentheses, and so just subtraction is left. So now I have to do the answer to my 14 minus 9. So I rewrite my problem again with the answer to 14 minus 9. Now if you notice, I am doing it step by step. And the answer is 5 here. Now I technically don't need my parentheses, but if you would like to continue to utilize them, that's okay too. You'll still have the same problem. So now I'm looking at 10 squared plus 5. Now I have nothing else to do in my parentheses here, so I don't have to worry about my parentheses. I can cross that off. Now I look, do I have any exponents? Yes, I do. I have 10 squared, so I need to do that first. So I can cross that off and do 10 squared, and 10 squared is 10 times 10, which is 100. And then I have my addition plus 5. And that's all I have left now. And so I know that's all I have to do is do the addition. And so 100 plus 5 is 105. And that is my final answer, 105. So make sure you're following the steps one step at a time. And you're rewriting the whole problem just as I did. So now you've got more problems to do on your own. And you are to bring them to class. Follow the BB PEMDAS. Make sure you write it at the top. So that way you can cross it out as you do it. Make sure you are doing it each time you do a new problem. BB PEMDAS should be written each time you do a new problem. You are to bring these to class tomorrow so that way we can go over them as a class. And then you've got some extra problems you're going to be doing tomorrow as well. Good luck and have fun.